Favor family, to God we give the glory. Good news is here. Welcome to the Favor Lifestyle Show. I am Pamela Lowery, and we have a great show for you today. We're talking healthy living. We have amazing women who make an impact and is changing the world. Right here up next on the Favor Lifestyle Show.
I don't really know what I should be thinking, but I know that I have changed. A better place now, a new season. Gone is the pain. No more shame.
Welcome back to the Favor Lifestyle Show. I am Pamela Lowery, and we have dynamic women from the Dallas, Texas area with us today. We have women from the Dallas and the Mid-City chapters of the Links. We have Dr. Lauren McDonald. We have Chief Justice Carolyn Wright Saunders, and then we also have Cynthia Morrison. Welcome, ladies, to the Favor Show.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
So we're talking about health today. Health is a major component of Black lives. It should be, right?
Yes, correct.
And so with the Dallas area and the Mid-City Links, first off, tell our viewers about the Links organization overall.
So the Links was actually founded in 1946. We are a national nonprofit service organization, and the Dallas chapter was actually founded in 1957, and the Mid-Cities chapter was founded in 1985. It's 17,000 women, professional Black women, and 299 chapters. We are located in the United States, the Bahamas, DC, and the United Kingdom.
Wow. So with the Links, you have different initiatives, as such as the Black Care Initiative. Can you expound upon the Black Care Initiative? Because it's national. Each chapter has a different, we'll say, because we're talking about nephrology today and kidney care. Tell us more about the Black Care Initiative with the Links.
Well, I know a couple of years ago, the central area of the Links Incorporated came up with this idea. And basically Black because we are at risk for kidney disease. And care is kidneys, resource, education, everything, so that we as a people can learn about our problems with kidney disease. So from the central area, it's spread out. And in this area, in our cluster area with the Dallas and Mid-Cities and Fort Worth chapters, we're starting several initiatives to educate our people about kidney disease and learn ways that they can prevent. Unfortunately, as African Americans, we are at high risk. 1 out of 3, almost half of us will develop kidney disease as we progress. We're at risk for going on dialysis. We're at risk for transplants and less likely to get transplanted. So there's a lot of education that needs to happen.
So in Black families, kidney disease is probably not talked about until you'll see a grandmother or uncle on dialysis or having issues. What are some of the signs and symptoms that you may have kidney ailments?
Well, I'll first say that, when you watch TV these days, all of these shows, they talk about heart disease, all these other things. Kidneys are not sexy. So you really don't hear about them. And we always say you don't miss them till they're gone. And some of the risk factors these days include diabetes. And unfortunately, as a people, we are obese. A lot of us are obese, which puts us at risk for diabetes, the number one cause of end-stage kidney disease in this country. Also hypertension. And I can tell you, I saw patients yesterday that are in denial about their blood pressure. It used to be 140/80 was okay. Now we're looking for most Americans, a blood pressure of 120 to 130/60 to 70 puts you less likely to develop heart disease as you age. So diabetes and hypertension are the number one causes in the adult population. I know earlier we were speaking about our teenagers, particularly our girls. And when they start their menstrual periods, it's not unusual as mothers, we give them non-steroidals, ibuprofen, Advil, Aleve, BC powder. But those compounds can cause kidney failure, particularly in people that are at risk. I've actually dialyzed teenagers. They lost their kidney function acutely because they were taking too much of this medication.
Now, how often should you take medication? Say you have a sports injury or you suffer from migraines. How often should you take those types of medication before you seek a physician so you won't kill your kidneys?
Right. Well, follow the recommendations on the label. Make sure you stay well hydrated. And if you have any other conditions, definitely check with your doctor first. But I'm of the idea that, the less medication, the better, unless you have a disease. So if you have, an ankle sprain or a headache, start with one. Look at the label every 8 hours, every 4 hours. If you find that you're taking these medications daily, something is wrong. You need to see someone as to why you're suffering this pain or these headaches or just whatever.
So when it comes to the links and the Black Care Initiative,
Yes.
what are you all doing to assist in this crucial area in the Black community?
So we are actually partnering with Baxter Healthcare, and we received a grant to make Black care in the community very prevalent, because we know, just as Dr. McDonald said, kidney disease is prevalent in the Black community. So this is a paired initiative with the Links International organization with Baxter. And the information needs to be out to our Black community. We are in the community, we provide service, we give thousands of hours of service every month. We donate to over $460,000 in scholarships. And so our organization is in the community. And so this partnership allows information to be disseminated into this underserved community of Black Americans. And so it is a partnership. We want to have awareness, we want to have resources, we want to have education, preventative health, and we will do the work. The Bible says that the people perish for a lack of knowledge. And so we want to provide that knowledge. We don't want our people in our communities to perish because they don't understand what's going on.
And this is nationwide.
Exactly.
So Links is a nationwide program. It's just not in one area.
That's right.
It's nationwide. So when you have different symptoms, what are the symptoms? How do you know if you have kidney disease, whether it's kidney disease or kidney infection? How can you differentiate the two?
Well, first of all, the symptoms are rather vague. Sometimes you'll have people, sometimes as the disease progresses, there'll be swelling. Oh, my rings are kind of tight. My shoes don't fit because my ankles are swelling. I'm having shortness of breath when I lie down at night. I can't breathe very well. Sometimes people will have nausea and vomiting, particularly as their disease is towards end stage. We eat, our body metabolizes what we eat. What we don't need comes out in the stool or the urine. So if our kidneys aren't working, the poisons that we would normally eliminate in our urine are building up in our blood. So what happens is that people develop nausea and vomiting. We use a term called malaise, where people just don't feel well. And that's, unfortunately, they're so vague. You go to the doctor and make sure your doctor draws your blood and checks your kidney function.
So that's key right there.
That's
making sure
key.
your physician checks for the right thing, checking your blood, because it may be misdiagnosed and you could have preventative care way before then, but then it's too late because you didn't know and ask the right questions. So when you do go to the physician, what questions should you ask? Because you wouldn't know, you're not a physician. But as it relates to your kidneys, they say drink water. What are some signs and symptoms as far as your urine, your skin? What should you say, doctor, something is not right?
Well, sometimes people will notice that I just don't seem to be making as much urine. I'm really tired, I'm fatigued. I'm itching, and there's a reason for that because phosphorus is climbing in your blood, causing your skin to react and causing itching. So when you say these things to your doctor, what do these labs mean? Why are there red dots next to certain findings? What does this mean? And I always tell people, every doctor should be willing to explain everything that you're asking about. Or if they don't know, say you don't know, but I'm going to get you to somebody who will and get a consultation. If you're uncomfortable or your doctor doesn't seem to take you seriously, get another doctor.
Okay.
I tell people that choosing your doctor is like getting a used car. You've got to be very careful and be comfortable with who you're working with.
So having your kidneys examined, right? Is that normal for a routine annual visit? When you go to have your urine, to your physician and your urine, they take your urine. What are they checking for with that?
Excellent question. When you first said examine your kidneys, be mindful that your kidneys are almost hidden in your body. So it's very hard to touch them if they're normal, like when your doctor examines them. So really what we do, it's rather indirect. We look at the findings in the blood. When we check your urine, usually we're looking for urinary protein. That's one of the first signs that there's a problem with the kidneys. We spill a small amount of protein, but if there's excessive amounts, one of the things people will say is, when I urinate, it's foamy. It looks like I had a beer in the toilet. That's abnormal. And that's what we're looking for when we check the urine. You mentioned infection, which is a whole different kind of ballgame. Anybody can get kidney infection. You don't necessarily have to have kidney disease. So we do look at the urine, however, to see if there are bacteria or white cells or other abnormalities.
When we return, we'll have more information as it relates to kidney health and staying well.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
2023 Asbury Revival was a Christian revival at Asbury University in Wilmore, Kentucky. The revival was sparked by students spontaneously staying in Hughes Auditorium following a regularly scheduled chapel service on February 8, 2023. Following the gathering, Asbury President Kevin Brown sent out a brief two-sentence email. There's worship happening in Hughes. You're welcome to join. The news of the phenomenon quickly spread through social media and Christian online publications. The revival has been compared to similar revivals at Asbury, notably one that took place in 1970. By its end, the revival brought 50 to 70,000 visitors to Wilmore, representing more than 200 academic institutions in multiple countries. FAVR partnered with Stillman College to create a soul-stirring production featuring national recording artist, Dove Award winner, and Grammy nominee Jacqueline Carr. With performances from the Stillman College Choir, inspiration duo Bridgewater Music, and rising gospel phenom Letitia Johnson Montgomery. Speaking of Grammys, the 2023 Gospel Contemporary Music winner was Maverick City and Kirk Franklin for Kingdom.
And welcome back to the FAVR Lifestyle Show. I'm Pamela Lowery right here, and we're here with members of the Links, and we're talking about kidney health and the importance of living a healthy life. Now, Chief Justice, you have an amazing testimony in which you want to share, because not only are you a Links member, but you have also received a kidney transplant. Tell us more about that.
I am blessed to be alive. In May of 2013, my doctor will tell you that my kidney functioning was absolutely normal. By August of 2013, I had had several bouts with pneumonia, and I had taken prescribed medication, and I got a virus and ended up in going to the hospital with a very high fever. We couldn't get the fever down. I went into sepsis and was in a coma for 2 months on life support. And no one thought I would live, save and except my dear mother and my sisters.
Praise
who
God.
had organized prayer teams all over the world, literally. And finally, in late August, the doctor said, listen, I guess around mid-August, we cannot legally continue to keep her on life support. She continues to have brain functioning, but this we can't do. There's a high likelihood of her getting infection at this point. And I had lost, I went into, I guess cardiac arrest. I was code blue twice, and there were other issues.
Now, did kidney disease run in your family?
not kidney disease, but high blood pressure and diabetes run in the family.
And that's what we need to talk about, because those things, in addition to stress, cortisol levels go up. And that also puts more pressure onto your kidneys.
And other infections. And as the doctor said, prescribed medications can also affect. I took great pride in the fact that I could sit in court. I could run a docket 8 hours. I'd never drink water. I'd never go to the restroom. I did not realize what damage I was doing to myself.
And we all do that.
Although it appeared that my kidney functioning was perfectly normal, I was not taking care of myself, so that at a time in a crisis situation, when I got an infection, I could not fight it off. I didn't drink water.
Yeah, so I've been known to do that as well. What does that do? Because sometimes when people say, oh, I don't have enough time to drink water.
Well, first of all, we need water. We're over 60% of our body is composed of water. So a lot of times people have symptoms. You'll have a headache, you don't feel well, and it's related to dehydration. So I tell people, and this is kind of very general, but to drink half your body weight in ounces. So I'm sure you're no more than 140 pounds. So 70 ounces of fluid, and that doesn't have to be all water, but your entire 24-hour intake. That's really easy to do, particularly here in the summertime when it's so hot. It's a little bit more of a challenge when the weather is cold.
Can you drink too much water?
Normal people cannot drink too much water. Now, there are cases where people have psychiatric illness or other issues where they will drink too much, but if you have normal kidney function, it's hard to drink too much water. One of the important things I think that Chief Justice mentioned that we need to remember is that you may have been like not taking the best care of yourself. And then you get stressed. And by stressed, I mean you develop an infection. Whenever we have an infection, and we see this now, especially with COVID, our immune system gets almost revved up. So if there's a problem, what will happen is you will get damaged. And this is likely what contributed to your problems. So it's important to take good care of ourselves.
Okay. Well, for more information, we're going to put information up on our website on favormag.com. But thank you also, ladies, so much for joining us and giving us this information today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And welcome back to the Favor Lifestyle Show. I am here with Dr. Dornechia Carter. Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you doing this morning?
Well, you know what? We are here and we're going to talk about some skincare.
Let's do it.
Because now it's the new age thing of, do you have a skincare regimen? What is a skincare regimen?
So a skincare regimen is whatever pattern or whatever set of items that you use regularly on your skin. And I think the biggest thing for establishing a regimen, and I tell all of my patients, is to keep it super simple, the KISS principle, right? So people get very caught up in all the different things that they can use, right? They have, I saw one person who had a 13-part regimen that she was supposed to use. And I'm like, that's too much. It's too much.
When do you know when it's time to go see a dermatologist?
So if you have a goal that you are trying to achieve with your skin and you're not getting there, that's when you need professional help.
So as it relates to Black skincare, what items would you suggest for both men and women with these skincare routines?
The number one thing that especially people of color think that we don't need, the number one myth is that we don't need sunscreen. The sun has been affecting all of us for years. And what we're learning is it's not just UV light, it's visible light, the light that's right here on us every single day that is contributing to not only the changes that can lead to skin cancer, but also changes that lead to fine lines, wrinkles, aging, dark spots, that, those kinds of things.
So what exactly does the dermatologist do? Is it just skin? Is it skin and hair? Is it skin and maybe Botox? So what exactly do you do?
So dermatology is the study of the skin, hair, and nails. So all three of them. Now, there are some dermatologists who focus more on one versus the other. I personally do all three. So, if you have a nail issue, you have a hair loss issue, I definitely address that. I do cosmetics, we do skin rashes. So it depends upon who you're seeking out.
Now, Black women in cosmetics, how often do Black women actually have maybe Botox or a filler? Is that something that we do?
Does my Botox show?
Nope, I can't tell.
Does it show?
Can't even tell. Can't even tell.
And that's the point.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay.
So when you're going to get any of these procedures, you want to get filler, you want to get a skin tightening treatment like Vivace, you want to get a little bit of Botox, you don't want to look like you had it.
Okay.
So, and all too often we have people who get overfilled cheeks, and we know what they look like. We already have, voluptuous lips. There's no reason to blow them up even more. But for some people, that's the look they're looking for. That's not what I provide.
Now, real quick before we end, there's been a big debate as it relates to hair relaxers and class action lawsuits. Would you suggest hair relaxers, and what does that do? Because you practice your skin and hair. So what does a relaxer actually do to our hair and our bodies?
Well, that's a great question. So with regards to, what does the relaxer do? Physically, it breaks the disulfide bonds that create the natural curls in our hair. By doing that, that's how our hair becomes straightened when we put the relaxer on. But we know that there are chemicals inside called phthalates, and they are hormone disruptors, and they can mimic estrogen. So there's an increased risk already just by being a Black woman, 2 to 3 times higher risk of having uterine fibroids. And having a relaxer increases that even more.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Now, this is just your first time, but you're going to come back. You're going to come back again. Everyone, when we come back, we're going to have more information right here on The FAVR Show. Thank you, Doctor, for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
If you found that this show helped feed your spirit, like, share, and subscribe The FAVR Lifestyle Show today.